Today, I'm going to give you a quick rundown of how to download the sampler instruments off of my website and use them in your DAW and sampler of choice. So right now, I'm on the downloads page of my website, jamescatherall.com, and we have the choice between two sampler instruments, a beer bottle and a wine glass. I'm going to start with the wine glass. I'm just going to click on the image, and then it's going to take you to this page. See, there's just a short form to fill out, just your first name, last name, and your email, and then you hit download. As soon as you hit download, you should see it appear in your downloads folder. So we'll see now I have this folder, says wine glass, and that's our download. I'm going to drag this into my documents folder. Inside the wine glass folder, we'll see it comes with three instruments, the fingernail, the rubber mallet, and the sustain. And inside of each instrument, there's two different sampler files. There's an EXS and then there's an underscore contact for the contact sampler. Let's start with the EXS, which is for the Logic / Mainstage sampler. So I'm going to go down. Here it says locations, and I'm going to click on this. It says Macintosh HD. That's the main hard drive of my Macintosh computer. If you don't see this, you can go up to where it says Finder, open the Preferences, and then here under Sidebar, we want to go to where it says Locations, Hard Disks, and make sure that's checked. If I uncheck that, it disappears. I want to make sure it's checked so that I can see it. Once we're in here, I want to look at this folder that says Users. I'm going to click on this triangle to open that up. And then I want to open up my user folder. So mine's called James Catherall. I'm going to open that up. Go to Music. Down to Audio Music Apps. And then finally, we're going to open up this Sampler Instruments folder. I'm going to double click on that. And what you want to do is you want to create a new folder inside of this area, and you want to give it a title that you're going to be able to remember. I called it James Sampler Instruments, and that's where I'm going to drop those EXS files. So I'm going to open up a second Finder window by pushing Command N right here. I'm going to go over to Documents, open up this wine glass. I'm going to open up all three of these folders, and I'm going to take these EXS files and I'm going to drop them into this James Sampler Instruments folder. 2. And there we go. So now those are set up and ready to go. This folder is the user sample instruments in Logic. So let's go over to Logic. Now inside of Logic, I have a project open with two channel strips. This first channel strip has the sampler plugin loaded. So let's open that up. And now at the top, where it says User Default, I'm going to open that up. And I should see the folder that I created. So I have my James Sampler Instruments. And then you should see all of those EXS folders that you just dropped in there. So I'm going to open up the sustain. And now it's ready to play. So there it is. That's the EXS sampler ready to go. Next, let's work on the contact instrument. I'm going to go back to the Finder. And once I'm in here, I'm going to back out to this wine glass folder inside of my documents. And here, I would suggest creating a folder with a name that you're going to be able to recognize for your contact instruments. So I have one right here called Contact Libraries. So I'm just going to drag this wine glass folder inside of that. And then it's ready to go. Let's go back to Logic. And now for this second channel strip, I have Contact loaded up and ready to go. So I'm going to open that up. And once you have it open, then the default view will be all of your libraries right here that you might have downloaded already. But we're going to go up to the top where it says Files, and I'm going to click on that. And then I'm going to go to my Documents folder. I'm going to open it up by pushing this plus symbol next to it. And then here's this Contact Libraries folder that I created. I'm going to open that up. And here's the wine glass. I'm going to open that one up. And then let's open up the sustain instrument. And then I'm going to select this underscore contact folder. And right there, we'll see the .nki file. So that's your instrument. That's the one you want to use. I'm just going to drag that in. And now it's ready to be played. You can also double click it as well. And then it'll open it up inside of Contact. And then I can start playing on my MIDI controller. And there it is. Wine glass ready to go inside of Kontakt. Finally, let's find the WAV files themselves. In case you don't want to use Kontakt or the Logic/MainStage sampler and you have your own sampler that you like to use, you can grab these WAV files and drop them into your sampler of choice. I'm going to go back to the Finder, and then I'm going to find that wine glass folder. I'm going to double click it, and then let's open up the sustain one. I'm going to open up this _Kontakt folder, and then where it says samples, I can open up that one, and then the WAV file is right there. So that's the sample itself. So you can then drag that out and drop it into any sampler that you want to be able to use it. So that's how you get the sampler instruments downloaded and set up from my website. Feel free to send me any emails if you have questions at jamescathrall92@gmail.com.